it was May of 1964. I was a junior in high school, and I had been going with Stan for a little bit over 2 years, probably.
I was a sophomore
having
at Penn
relations
State
for a while.
University. I was already kind of
we went to the junior prom, I
nonconformist
can remember,
and
I had this
independent.
The Everlasting Piece, which is an audio piece that is composed from excerpts taken from oral history interviews of women who surrendered children between 1945 and 1973. So that's between end of World War II and Roe v. Wade. These women were caught in a kind of interesting time period in American history, and women who were part of the sort of beginnings of the women's movement, and things were changing for women. They were becoming more independent, in many cases more sexually active.
It meant
didn't do
that
anything wrong.
you were
Took care of our brothers and sisters.
a tramp,
I took a whole bottle of
Everybody's
aspirin,
parents.
and all it did is
stupid.
make me
wanted their
throw
daughters
up.
to be
low class,
with me, and now when I walk down the street,
and not somebody
all the parents
to
made their daughters
wanna
cross the
really
street. They couldn't walk on the same side of the
be
street.
in friendship.
It had
with.
to be secret.
One memory I have
It's
of
like you have no
drinking
idea what
orange
things were like in the
juice and
60s.
castor oil,
I mean, everything
because someone
depended
said that
on
was a remedy.
your social
You know, everybody
status and
whispered
what
you
everybody
couldn't go
said
to
about
school.
you, and everybody knew
It just brought
everything and all
terrible
that sort of
shame
thing. And
on
any of
anybody
these
who knew you,
things
and
befell
particularly
you,
your family
you
or anybody who
just
was
got
related to
axed
you.
totally to the bottom of the pit somewhere.
I think it's a really important part of women's history that has been left out. And what has happened is, as a result of the people who experienced it not telling their stories, other people are telling their stories for them. And that's always a dangerous situation. I'm really interested in having women speak for themselves and tell their own story.
The next thing I can remember knowing, is my father came to me and said, "You will be going to St. Anne's Infant and Maternity
is telling me
Home,
to pack my suitcase.
and you will be giving your baby up for adoption."
I'm going to live with people in D.C. The maternity home didn't have enough room in it for the numbers of girls that were pregnant.
It was
so
always
they had to farm
full.
out
It was just a
girls
revolving
somewhere
door.
else to hide their pregnancies until they
In
were
the
7
lounge,
months.
like I said, we had a little TV,
We'd
and we
either
had
go
what they
to
called a hi-fi
movie,
back then.
or
and
we
we
would
had
walk down
two
another block
records.
to the
One
little
was
grocery store.
Ray Charles, Born to Lose. And the
but I
other
remember
one
only
was,
seeing one movie while I
something
was
about
there, and that was Born
Stuck Up
Free,
Here, I
which
Want
I
to Go
find
Home.
very
I
ironic.
mean, real upbeat songs.
We were
you
never
know,
given
for,
any
you know.
information, what to expect from month to month. Therapy there was just talking about, well, are you going to arts and crafts class? Have you taken a class on
I was so
knitting?
incredible.
Installation art puts you in an environment so that you experience the artwork rather than just looking at the artwork. Each chair is sort of personified and represents each of the 7 women who allowed their stories to be told. I want people to come in and seeing this circle of chairs representing a kind of ghost-like image of the women who are having this conversation, who are not present, and sit down in the chairs to put themselves in the place, literally in the place of the women who are speaking.
So she died Saturday at
completely
midnight, and
bedridden.
Sunday morning we had
I hope they leave with a new understanding of family, of what it means to be a mother, of what it means to allow women to make informed decisions for themselves. And so I'm hoping that it promotes kind of tolerance and understanding and compassion.
It was a sacrifice for all of us, but we did it because we're family, and that's what families do. Well, we were a family then too, and they should have done it. They owed it to me because I was a member of their family, not because I was good, bad, or whatever, but because I belonged to them. The decision was wrong. I should have raised my son, and I will regret to the dying day that I didn't. But if I could go back to that May right before the prom, and God said, you can either have him and it'll go exactly the way it went, or you'll never get pregnant, you'll go on with your life, I choose to have him.